Q&A from Contact Report 436.
Of course, I thought of that too. It is understandable that you have all kinds of things to do. Well, on the 20th of September, during a kitchen conversation, a question arose regarding your ability to telepathically control the human mind and to get information out of it. There was also talk of law and order with regard to bearing responsibility. Hear what I have worked out in relation to the kitchen talk, and tell me if I can leave it like this, and if it really corresponds to the lines of your directives in this way. Quote, Law and Order, Penetration into Purely Private Thoughts, 20th September 2006.
Question. Is there a right or law that man is born under a law of nature? For example, when he is born on this planet, that he has the responsibility to take care of the well-being of the planet, the animals and humans living on it? Obviously it is so, but there is also the opposite. For example, what gives extraterrestrials, who were not born on this planet, the right to enter the personal thoughts of humans in order to obtain information, and is it not possible to protect against the abuse of privacy?
Answer. It is all natural, and it is all a right and law by nature that man is concerned about his responsibility, which he has to bear and fulfill in relation to himself, as well as in relation to the planet, the animals, the creature, and all of nature. Without the natural creative laws, no human being can be begotten, and no one can be born, just as is the case with all other forms of life, of every genus and species. And that which is mentioned with regard to the intrusion by extraterrestrials into the purely private sphere or into the purely private thoughts of earthlings is to be explained in such a way that a certain paragraph of the directives does not permit the plebeians to do so.
Question. But only recently have the Plerian directives in this regard been somewhat expanded.
Answer. But that has nothing to do with the fact that the purely private sphere of the earthly man might be intruded upon. It is only a matter of what is generally given with regard to factors that are connected with the truth. That is to say, whether conscious lies or the truth is told, whether there is an illusion, a delusion, a schizophrenia, a delusion or an imagination, etc., things which are of a purely private nature, factors by which living together, etc., is regulated are completely taboo. So only everything which is not of a purely private nature may be touched. No longer private in nature are all factors by which fellow men are deceived, and a false truth is pretended to them by any circumstances, such as, for example, by conscious or unconscious lies, by delusion, schizophrenia, illusions, deception and conceit, etc.
48. Your answers are good and correct, for you have explained what is true.
Then I have a question again, which was raised at a kitchen meeting on the 23rd of August 2006, and which was answered by me, according to your private statement in the month of July. Can the following be said in this way? Quote, President of the USA regarding the Third World War, Prophecies and Predictions.
Question. In a contact report it says that Simyase once said that Ronald Reagan was connected with the first effects of a Third World War, but that, as it seems, did not happen.
Answer. Ronald Reagan has simply laid a foundation stone, just like the other presidents after him who have come after him. The worst of all so far is George Walker Bush, who has gone furthest in terms of a Third World War. As far as a Third World War is concerned, the whole thing is not something that just happens from one day to the next, but it is a long process that usually takes years or even decades. With regard to such a war, various presidents, dictators and other state powers should be mentioned, who in the course of time do their part to ensure that one day a war between two states, or even a world war, will break out as the result of all causes. And Ronald Reagan was the first to start laying the first bricks for a Third World War, which in terms of a prophecy was announced for the year 2006 among others. But in this regard, the world political and world military as well as the world economic situation has so far changed in such a way that the prophetic factors are still being eliminated, and the danger of a Third World War is banished at least for the year 2006. As Ptah explained in a private conversation,